Fabulous, everyone. Rissa Vibes here, aka Vibes by Rissa. What's up? How you doing? Let me know how you're feeling today. Go ahead and tune in. Start breathing deeply, getting centered and relaxed, because today we are diving right into a brand new weekly reading all about the energy and astrology of this week, June 20th to June 27th, 2021. We are in the summer solstice today, which is really exciting. We are entering the Cancer season today. So there's so much to talk about. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know if you can hear me and see me well. I am tuning in from my Arizona set. So hopefully you are enjoying the vibe here, a little deeper tones, and loving to connect with you from wherever I am, whenever I join you in these readings. So as you settle in, just take your time to set some intentions today, maybe feel into a little bit about what you're seeking in regards to guidance or clarity for your week, feel into how you've been feeling and your mood and your energy. And we're gonna dive right in. I want to do a little bit of a review of last week. Last week, we talked a little bit about the energy of abundance, logic, and reason. We also talked about surrendering and doing the work. We also talked about self-worth and self-esteem. Okay, so just giving you an idea of the energy that we're coming off of, that we're going to use to continue moving into the new energy. How is everybody doing? Can you hear me well? Everything good? Sounds good? Perfect. Thank you so much for letting me know. I've been having some tech difficulties here and there, so it's really nice to have that validation from all of you. Good to see you, Candace. Good to see you, Marie. Good to see you. Growth is where it starts. So nice to see all of you. All right, so this week is really powerful. This is a week where we're transitioning from Gemini season into Cancer season. So we are doing a big shift today. We also are transitioning from spring into summer. And technically, we're in the peak of summer. Summer energy started a few weeks ago, but we are in the peak of summer, the real vibrational alignment to it, the longest day of the year. Now, not only that, but we also have Father's Day today. So we've got some energetics around the masculine, the divine masculine, and the nurturing elements of that. So we're going to dive into it. And if you haven't tuned in the last couple of weeks, you may not know that I've been shaking things up and doing things a little differently with my readings. And I started this on my birthday a couple of weeks ago when I also released my second album, Hippie Vixen. So if you haven't had a chance to listen to Hippie Vixen, definitely go take a listen on any streaming service, Tidal, Apple iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, all the things, okay? Spotify, you can find my album there under Rissa Vibes, Hippie Vixen. So I've been switching it up with these readings. So what I've been doing is I've been telling you a little bit about the messages that I've picked up on before we even get to the reading, the things that I download from meditations, readings on the collective, and just things that my guides make sure to let me know I need to say in these readings. And then from there, I pull a card to get even more guidance from our guides as a mass collective and the universal consciousness that we are all connected to, so that we can get even more awareness about the energy, okay? So the first message this week is following your dreams, okay? Following your dreams. And this message is an energy that's very beautiful in regards to that kind of ambition and fantasy and kind of, manifestation energy, dreaming what you want into reality. But there also is a little bit of shadow work that is mixed in with the energy of following your dreams this week. And we're going to get into more of the astrological, the astrological aspects of that shadow work with dreams in a little bit. But what I'm wanting to really focus on first is the fact that when we follow our dreams, we are often called forth in a big way to start to notice what is happening in our life or within ourselves that is actually holding us back from following our dreams fully, or from being fully successful in that pursuit. And so the guides are calling me to pull a card from the Lantern deck, which is our shadow work deck that I like to use, all about really what is it that we need to focus on for shadow work in regards to following your dreams. I love this card. The card is Women Supporting Women. And this card actually showed up a little bit last week as well, I believe, in one of the cards I pulled. And this energy is an energy of really acknowledging community acknowledging an energy of communion, this ability to connect to other people that are like-minded, specifically this being women supporting women. And when we follow our dreams, right, our dreams being this kind of intuitive and kind of spacey astral energy, right? That is the energy that is connected to the divine feminine. The divine feminine is so connected to the intuitive aspects of ourselves and the ways in which we create from nothing, create dreams from just desires, right? And this ability to create those dreams into actual manifestation, materialization, right? And so women supporting women in regards to following your dreams is really letting us know that we need to honor the divine feminine aspects of ourselves and start to mingle and connect with more people who are aligned to the similar frequencies of our divine feminine aspects. No matter if you're a man or a woman, no matter your sexual preference or your background, you have a divine feminine and divine masculine energy. And when we can honor the ways in which that divine masculine and feminine start to show up in our lives and within ourselves, we can actually start to cater to the ways in which we can use that energy for our highest good. And so that's what this card is talking about: following your dreams, doing the shadow work of making sure that you're not blocking or resisting your divine feminine traits, your energies of intuition, your energies of creativity, your energies of innovation, your energies of being able to connect and communicate with others, networking with others, the ability to be creative and expressive and nurturing, right, and compassionate. So making sure that you're not blocking any of that energy. If you are, it may be limiting you from following your dreams fully or fully more successfully, okay? The divine feminine energy is so important, and it says, the card itself says, together we can transcend our individual limitations. And so when we follow our dreams and we start to pursue the things that we really want in our life, noticing if you tend to just try to go it alone, or if you tend to try to block yourself from accepting help, or if you refrain from reaching out to those who you know could help you get to where you want to go through networking or community, right? When are you allowing community and connection? And when are you not allowing community connection? And how is that resistance to not allowing it causing resistance to you following your dreams fully, or being in the place and time in which your dreams can fully thrive, right? So this is a big one. And doing any shadow work around connecting to women or your relationships with women in regards to following your dreams, and also the divine feminine aspects of your energy in regards to following your dreams, okay? Such a powerful message. Let me know how that resonates with everybody. Yes, put my hands in the perfect vibration. Puts me in the perfect vibration, Jasmine says. Love it. Good to see you, Jasmine. Good to see you, Kevin. So happy to have you here. Thank you for all the love of my album, you all. That is such a deep reverence for me. I'm so grateful for that. I also want you all to do me a little favor in regards to Hippie Vixen. Please go ahead and comment on here in the top chat, but also comment in the comments of this reading. Let me know what cities or states you may want me to travel to and perform, because I'm manifesting some performances in different areas over the next few months to a year, okay? So I really want to take Hippie Vixen to different states, different countries, different cities. So let me know where you want to see me perform Hippie Vixen, so that I can really tune in to the locations that are really ready for that vibration, okay? All right, next message from Follow Your Dreams. We want to tap into, another thing I want to mention about Follow Your Dreams. I want to take a little time to honor my dear friend Elena Hardy. I talked about her a few weeks ago. She had passed away very tragically. And I spoke to you all about the GoFundMe account in her name to bring her back from New York to Arizona. And I just want to let you in on a little update. I was able to attend Elena's memorial service yesterday. I was able to connect with her family and her friends, and we were able to all grieve together in a really beautiful ceremony that was provided by the amazing and generous donations from everyone who contributed to that GoFundMe account. account. So if you contributed, which I know a lot of you did after I spoke about it on my weekly reading a few weeks ago, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, and to extend the same gratitude that her father extended to all of those who supported financially, because the service was amazing. Her casket was beautiful. It was like pink with like vintage roses, and it was just everything that she deserved. And she had a beautiful burial site and plot, and the service was just gorgeous. And so thank you all for whoever contributed, if you did, and just even if you just sent your love and light and healing, it was received yesterday, and we're so grateful for that. So the reason why I wanted to mention that in regards to the follow your dreams message is because Elena had a heart and a spirit that was so vibrant and adventurous. She followed her dreams fully and completely. And that was one of the most beautiful things that I heard in the service yesterday, people reflecting on how just spirited she was, and how unapologetic she was in manifesting what she wanted. I mean, this girl traveled the world. She went to almost every country in Asia. She went to India by herself. She went to sledding with the wolves in the Arctic Circle. Like, this girl went everywhere she wanted to go. She followed every dream she had fully and completely. And that is just a testament to, even though she passed tragically and was gone way too soon, the beauty of it was that she followed her dreams fully. And so when we could look back on her life, we could know that she really did have such an amazing, amazing experience here on this planet. And it's a message for all of us to remember how important it is to follow our dreams, because anything could happen tomorrow. Anything could happen today. So why not follow your dreams and be able to have all those experiences, all of those things that you have desired, pursuing them and enjoying the adventure of that is just so valuable and priceless to us all. So thank you, Elena, for inspiring us to all follow our dreams. The next message is, don't take love for granted. Don't take love for granted, okay? Tell the people that you love them, and tell them regularly. There's an energy in the duality that we've been talking about the last couple weeks, where people are just kind of forgetting the power of love because of the duality, right? Because of the duality. And when we go through contrast, when we go through challenge, it can be so easy to forget the beauty of things, the pleasure of things, the love of things, the gratitude for things, right? And so this energy is really making sure that we take time to deliberately center into love vibration and deliberately honor love and the power of it and the way in which we get to express it every time we can, anytime we can. Just by being here, we get to express that to those that we love, and we get to stand in the love vibration for those who need it around us, and we get to emit the love vibration for the duality of the mass collective that needs that for grace and for balancing, right? And so the power of love is so, so, so real, and it's important that we don't take it for granted. I'm going to ask the galactic guides, because I've got my galactic cards here. I didn't do a Starseed Saturday yesterday on my OnlyFans because I was at the memorial service for Elena, but I did want to bring my galactic cards into this reading so we can just feel a little bit into what they have to say. And it feels like this love vibration, not taking love for granted, is a great, great, great energy to tap into with the galactics. They're so, so connected to the love vibration and the power of it and the alchemy of it. So I'm just asking the galactic guides to shine a little bit more light on the message of don't take love for granted. The card is self-discipline. I love this card. This card is from the Vegans. Let's see if you can see that a little bit better. There you go. So this is from the Vegans, and the Vegans are like the ancestors. I'm trying to block the light out, y'all. There we go. The Vegans are from the ancestors. They're like the ancestors of the galactics. And this card is a number 24 card, and it is the card of self-discipline. And it's a present moment card. And so what they're saying about this is, in not taking love for granted, we have to have a self-discipline. What I was just talking about in regards to the duality, right? When we're going through contrast and challenge, it can be so easy to just stay in the vibration of frustration, irritability, anger, maybe grief, or just stillness and disheartened energy or a lack of hope, right? It can be so easy to stay in that vibration. But what our galactic guides, specifically the Vegans, are telling us is that it's important. We have to practice the self-discipline, the deliberate self-discipline of creating a kind of barrier, right? Resisting the energy of frustration during contrast, and creating a self-discipline around deliberately cultivating the love vibration amidst duality and amidst contrast. We have to literally create a routine or a formula or a method or a format for us to stay disciplined in our love vibration. And we are being challenged and tested on our self-discipline around love and the ability to stay in the love vibration and not take it for granted. So we are being tested to discipline ourselves on that, right? And that makes so much sense, because in this contrast, we have to do things differently than we've ever done in regards to contrast before. We have to respond to contrast instead of react to contrast, right? Respond, don't react. And so a lot of that responding is taking time to breathe, taking time to discipline ourselves from going into, negative loops of behavior or emotions or thought patterns, and to discipline ourselves and train ourselves instead to focus on love and to not take love for granted. So when you're feeling frustrated during contrast, when you're feeling like, oh my gosh, things aren't going my way, I'm getting angry and irritated at myself or others, stop right there and say, how can I actually cultivate love? Because love is actually what's going to open the heart and give you the inspiration and ideas to actually solve whatever issue or contrast you're facing. So self-discipline from the Vegans. Okay, how's everybody feeling? Yes, love this, love this, love this. I'm loving all of your comments. So beautiful. All right, so next message is inner child healing, okay? And this is going to segue into some Father's Day stuff, okay? But let's talk about the inner child healing first. Inner child healing this week. This week, 6/20 to 6/27, we are tapping into even more inner child healing. Because we are in a dualistic energy with Gemini season just ending yesterday, and well, really today, technically, and that transition occurring, the Gemini energy is dualistic, right? It's the twin energy, and it's two opposite sides of energy oftentimes finding harmony, right? And so when we're in that dual, we're really seeing kind of that split, that separation, the masculine, the feminine, or, the yin and the yang, right? And as we feel that separation, we also have to attune to the third part, right? The third part is how we find harmony. The third part is the harmony, right? The masculine and feminine, the third part being the inner child, right? The yin and yang, the third part being the balance, the harmony, the full circle, right? And so we recognize that that third part is so essential. And for this month, the third part is our inner child healing. That is something that we are having to face because of the duality that we've been seeing and experiencing in our lives recently. And so the duality we've been experiencing has been triggering and being a catalyst to a lot of inner child wounds or inner child healing that needs to be done. Ultimately, that's what happens, right? We get triggered in a wound that we have. We start to notice that it's there. It starts to fester and become so annoying to us that we have to do the work to heal it. Otherwise, it's unbearable. And that is a beautiful process, because if that inner child wound didn't kind of surface in that way, then it would just stay there festering under the surface. We wouldn't even notice how much it was affecting our lives or how bad it was getting, because we wouldn't be seeing the effects of it until it was too late, right? So we want to honor the fact that this inner child healing is necessary right now, and that we're being triggered to see our abandonment wounds, our neglect wounds, our rejection issues, our feelings of worthlessness, our feelings of frustration or just isolation, right? And so these are wounds that we have to heal. And in order to heal them, we have to notice what part of our inner child was hit with that pain first, right? When did you first experience that abandonment wound? When did you first feel unworthy? When did you first feel like you were being neglected? And going back to that moment and processing it by giving your inner child the love that it needed in that moment, telling it what it needed to hear, hugging it, imagining yourself hugging your inner child, maybe doing some self-care and things that you know you've needed to do for that inner child energy that you haven't done yet, and seeing the wounds that are blocking you from your joy, because the wounds that are blocking you from your joy often are your inner child wounds, because the inner child is joyous and adventurous and curious and playful. And if we aren't letting ourselves be joyous, then we have a block in our inner child, right? Our inner child is feeling resistant to its natural essence. So we have to do the work, okay? So I'm going to pull a card on how we can best do the work. I'm feeling the playful cards of the spirit animal deck. I love this deck. It just feels always so just lighthearted. This deck is just so lighthearted and also very graceful. Lighthearted, but still deep in a pretty cool way. So just asking what the spirit animals have for us in regards to our inner child wounds and inner child healing. Perseverance, the ram, perseverance. Love this card. So amazing to feel into perseverance for inner child healing, because when we recognize the wounds in our inner child, we have to understand that it's taken quite a long time from the moment we maybe first experience those wounds until the moment that we start to realize that they're there and they're so damaging. That's a lot of time in between there. And so it does take a lot of time to create the effects of those wounds, but it also is going to take a lot of time to heal them. So we have to be perseverance. We have to persevere. We have to be persistent in our healing process. We have to be relentless in our healing process. We have to recognize that our inner child wounds are not going to go away right away. They're going to keep showing up. They're going to be annoying. We're going to think that we are over them, and then they're going to show up again. We're going to think we're doing all the work we need to do, and they're going to still show up here and there, because we have to be persistent. We have to persevere. It says, you have many gifts. No problem can withstand the power of your mind. With patience, you can reach your mountaintop. Never give up, and good luck will follow. I'm going to read that again. You have many gifts. No problem can withstand the power of your mind. Think about that. No problem can withstand the power of your mind. If your mind is strong enough against the problem and you allow your mind to be that strength that fights the problem, then it will always be able to overcome the problem. With patience, you can reach your mountaintop. With patience, climbing up that hill, climbing up that mountain, going diligently into the inner child healing and the inner child work and the reflection necessary to redirect the thoughts around certain experiences of your childhood. By being patient and doing that work, eventually you will get to the top of the mountain and you'll feel the beautiful view. You'll feel the breeze hit your skin. You'll feel the joy and liberation of being free and being empowered on top of the mountain. And never give up, because good luck will follow when you refuse to give up. And so that luck is on our side when we persevere. Okay, so we have to be relentless with our inner child healing. Carla says, I've been experiencing it beginning with a letter from my mother. It's been cleansing, necessary, and beautiful. Your reading has touched my soul. I'm so glad I can help, Carla. So happy to help with that. Good to see all of you. Marie says the message is really resonating with me. Wow, Rissa, you're on point with today's messages. Oh, I'm so glad this is hitting you all so well and so deeply. It's so important, okay? So self-discipline and perseverance in regards to our honoring, that energy of love and also the inner child healing, okay? And we're seeing already this story play out as we always do this week, or these weeks now that we're doing these card pulls every message, this energy of following your dreams, right? The main message, and that kind of structure or that shadow work that is underneath it, right? Because we all know that we have a powerful energy to manifest our dreams this year. We all know what's possible when we choose that. But we also know that following our dreams now, especially in this year when it's a shadow work year, is not going to be a normal thing. It's not going to be like sunshines and rainbows. It's like, okay, following your dreams is not always easy. It's hard work. It requires things that we need to do to kind of go back and excavate all of the, the heaviness or the shadowy stuff of our energy. All right, next message is surrender fully. Release tension around what you can't control or what you aren't meant to control, okay? I'm going to go right into a card with this because this is another shadow work energy, surrendering fully. And we talked about this last week, so I don't want to touch into it too much because you can go back and watch the reading all about surrendering last week. But the energy of surrendering fully. Spirit has been giving me the message about how we may think that we're surrendering on the surface, but when we really feel into it, we're not actually surrendered. We're still trying to control deep down in our core. We're still trying to control, or we're still trying to, force things or strategize things or maneuver things according to the way we think it needs to be. And we're not really surrendering fully. And so I love this card for our message this week with surrender. Is trusting tricksters. Trusting tricksters, okay? Now this card is awesome for this message because we are the trickster in this energy, okay? When we are pretending or when we are convincing ourselves or tricking ourselves that we're surrendering, but really on the deepest part of ourselves we're not, we end up getting in a lot of trouble, okay? We end up really kind of getting distracted from what we need to do because we're not fully surrendered. And so this card says the trickster's only power is your trust. You are always free to withdraw it. So don't trust your first kind of initial surrendering behavior, okay? Don't trust it at first. Surrender and notice how it feels to surrender. And then maybe don't trust it. Maybe tell yourself, hey, this isn't really all the way surrender. What would it look like if I surrender even more than this? Is there another layer or another level of surrender that I'm not seeing or that I'm tricking myself into thinking isn't there, right? Let yourself really explore how deeply you can let go, how deeply you can surrender, and how much you may be tricking yourself out of a deeper surrender, okay? Big message there. I don't have to go too much more into detail with that. I think that is pretty self-explanatory because we have been getting a lot of message on surrender. Because remember, we are co-creating with the universe. We are asking the universe for what we want. Actually, it doesn't even start there. It starts with the desire of what we want being provided to us from the universe. The universe steps in first and gives us the desire. That's the first step. Then we respond to the desire by saying, yeah, we do want that. And we are confident enough to believe that we can have it and to claim it. Then we claim it in whatever way, an action or an intention or a statement of receiving. And then spirit shows up and starts to give us opportunities to step into what we are ready to receive. Then we've got to do the work to continue maintaining that receptivity and to continue surrendering. This is where the surrender comes in, surrendering our control over how the path looks. Because if we've asked for what we want from spirit, from the universe, from source, from God, then we start to receive the opportunities. All we need to do is keep surrendering to God's plan, source's will, the universe's agenda, okay? And we'll align with the abundance that we seek. We don't have to control it. We controlled it already by just walking the path, by doing our part to be receptive. That's what we want to control and maintain. We don't need to control the path, okay? All right, next message is gratitude for God, gratitude for source, gratitude for the universe, however you want to acknowledge the creator energy of this plane of existence we're in and of all things, right? Then say it how you want. I use those terms synonymously. I use universe, spirit, source, God, all the same. They all mean the same to me. But it's about being grateful. Gratitude is the attitude of abundance and prosperity. And so Spirit has been really, really focused on encouraging us to be grateful, radically grateful, grateful amongst the hardest times, grateful amongst the most challenging experiences. Something that I noticed about the memorial service yesterday was that Elena's father was still in such gratitude for God and for Spirit for gifting him the opportunity to be Elena's father and to have the time he had with her. And, that gratitude in such a radical way, still having gratitude in that experience of having to, say goodbye to your daughter on this earth side. And that gratitude was inspiring, because it really shows you how much faith and how much gratitude over time from other experiences can really allow you to step into gratitude in the times you need it the most, in the times where you need that kind of spirited, passionate, open-hearted support. And gratitude brings it in. When we have gratitude, we start to feel that from Spirit. We start to feel that support, that passionate support, that passionate security of self and spirituality. All right. And with that card, or with that message, I pulled a card that's pretty aligned to that: inspired passion. Inspired passion. And so this is what we get when we step into full gratitude for God, okay, and for Source. We get more inspired passion for our path. We get more ideas and inspiration. We get more desires that we get to ask for and manifest from Spirit. We get more guidance and clarity on what we need to do next to continue pursuing our goals and manifesting them. So beautiful, right? Gratitude is what gives us inspired passion. And if you're feeling stuck or stagnant or down or heavy or just uninspired, right? Step into a place of gratitude and you will receive that inspired passion. That is your ticket. That is your way to receive it. So many times we're like, how can we get unstuck? I'm so mad at being this way. I'm so mad I'm still feeling this way. I'm so upset that this happened, right? What can I do? Why can't I feel better? But then we don't take the work seriously of deliberately self-disciplining ourselves into gratitude, being perseverant in our ability to be grateful and to stay loving, right? And honoring the ways in which we can continue to surrender even more to the energy of gratitude and receive that. The card itself says, life devoid of passion can be a boring, uninspired, blank canvas that slowly drains the soul. Now is a time to reignite your passions and rejoin life. This is an opportunity to set new goals, which will in turn reconnect you with all that is sacred. What gratitude inspires the passion that connects us with all that is sacred. Wow, think about that. All right. That is a powerful energy. And that's why gratitude and love, like I spoke about earlier, are the most powerful energies in the universe. We've got to really honor that and use them for what they are. Use your mindfulness tool belt. Okay. And this is the next message. I was like, I'm pretty sure this is the next message. And it is. Universe is testing us on if we will use our mindfulness tool belt or if we will choose to regress into old patterns, okay? And I've been talking about the choice of whether or not we're gonna stay in Matrix or go to the 5D. It's an internal choice. It's an energetic choice. It's a spiritual choice, okay? A lot of the 5D Earth experience and the way in which we're shifting into it is energetic. It's not physical yet. We're not seeing the physical aspects as much as the energetic aspects of this transition into the 5D. And a lot of the energetic aspects that are occurring right now are the choices that we're making, the decisions we're making, where we're putting our energy, where we're focusing our energy, and how that starts to bring in a transition into another place, another experience, another dimension, another spiritual level of consciousness, okay? And so using your mindfulness tool belt, the mindfulness tool belt we've developed in all these readings over 3 years, the mindfulness tool belt that you've developed from your own experiences and your ability to be resilient and to overcome them and to find wisdom from all of that. The mindfulness tool belt of what you know it takes for you to come down from a trigger or to center yourself and balance yourself. Maybe it's movement for you, or meditation, or art, or connection and community. right? Or breath work. You've developed, hopefully, if you've been paying attention to the ways in which Spirit's been guiding us, right? And encouraging us to gather that tool belt and to really start to work those tools so that we have the tool belt ready now, right? If you've been doing that work, then you've got a tool belt ready. So use it. Use it when you're going through these contrasts, because that's why Spirit's putting us through this stuff, is to show us what we get to do and how we get to move more gracefully and more easily through contrast because of what we've taken the time to develop, because of the tool belt that we've taken time to gather and put together. So don't regress into 3D experience or inner child wounds or trauma or, negativity. Don't regress into that. Don't be lazy. And I'm saying that on purpose because some people are. I'm seeing people being very lazy with their work right now. They're complaining, they're upset, they're mad at the world, at themselves, at the things they're going through, but they're not doing the work. The work is not easy. You can't just lay around and complain about it and say, why me, and then expect it to change. It's not going to change. You can say, why me, and be upset for a little bit, but then get up and deliberately cultivate some gratitude. Get up and deliberately cultivate some love. Get up and deliberately persevere towards your goal and allow yourself to surrender to what is, accept it, don't play the victim role, and get up and be the warrior that you are. We are in a spiritual war, and anyone that's going to lay down and be a victim is not going to be able to overcome this war. You're choosing your fate too early. Don't do that, right? Honor the warrior that you are and choose a fate that you want and do the work to gain it. You have to do the work. You have to use the mindfulness belt, the mindfulness tool belt. I'm going to pull one more from the Spirit Messages deck on this. Yeah, Spirit's giving us a no tolerance policy on this. That was another message from that. A no tolerance policy on doing the work. No tolerance. And if you don't do the work, you're going to see Spirit not tolerating that. It's going to keep giving you contrast. It's going to unrelentlessly give you challenges until you have the strength to do the work. Okay? Spirit isn't trying to attack you. It's trying to tell you, hey, do the work. And if you don't do the work, then I guess I just got to keep giving you stuff to strengthen you enough to do the work. And that stuff that it's giving you to build your strength is more contrast, more challenge, more things that you've got to do the push-ups on and work the muscles of, right? In order to be able to be resilient enough to move forward. It says strength comes from many sources. Staying strong brings confidence, conviction, and a balanced body, mind, and soul. Spirit has its own unique and beautiful way of replenishing your soul with strength on a continual basis. You're never really alone, as we're always with you. So know that even though it's hard, you're never really alone. You've got your spiritual guides with you. And I love how inspired passion and strength are both orange cards. They're both energy of creation and connection and the sacral chakra, which is a lot of that kind of divine feminine energy. And so honoring that, okay? Honoring the strength that it takes to use the mindfulness tool belt and continuing to let that strength build until you can do the work even more consistently. Okay. Spirit is on a no tolerance policy with that. All right. Father's Day. This is going to be our last Spirit message, and then we'll get into the astrology. We do have a full moon in Capricorn this week, so we'll talk a little bit about that in a second. But Father's Day. Okay, we just talked about the power of the divine feminine and the ways in which we're kind of utilizing a little bit more of a masculine take on the feminine energy. We're seeing women supporting women with that divine feminine energy, but it was in regards to some shadow work that needed to happen. Self-discipline, which is kind of a masculine energy. Perseverance, another masculine energy. Trusting tricksters and surrendering is a little bit more feminine, right? So we're having that balance there. Then we've got inspired passion, that strength, and that inspired passion being kind of creativity and inspiration, another feminine energy. And then strength being a little bit more masculine, right? But also feminine. So there's a balance there. So we're seeing how we can use the balancing and harmonizing of divine masculine and feminine for our highest good. And so Father's Day being today is another example of how we get to honor that dualism within ourselves, the energy of divine feminine and the energy of divine masculine, right? Thank you for the super chat donation, Natalie. So sweet. Thank you so much. She says, yes, yes, yes. Loving all of this. I just dyed my hair orange too. Thank you so much for all that you do in this community. So blessed. Oh, I love the orange hair. That sounds so fun. Love, love, love it. And thank you so much for your love and for joining the community and staying connected. It's just my pleasure to be able to just have this community. It's healing for me as well. So I'm so grateful for all of you. All right, so Father's Day, okay, this is where we get to honor the masculine a little bit more. We honor this masculine side of nurturance, okay? So this is what I'm talking about. There is a nurturance energy, a softness, a gentleness still in the masculine energy. And that is the balance of the feminine coming into the masculine. Same thing with how there is discipline and perseverance and the opportunity to cultivate that from the intuitive side of things, from the spiritual side of things, from the divine feminine side of things, right? So it's about honoring both in each side of the energy, honoring the feminine aspects in the masculine and honoring the masculine aspects in the feminine. So for Father's Day, we honor the more feminine aspects of the masculine, the energies of nurturance, the energies of love, the energies of creation, right? A father has created a life just with the mother, right? The father is opening the heart to nurturing the child, right? The father is able to create life and to connect with life in such a powerful way and to create the community of the family in that way. And so we're seeing kind of the softer and more feminine sides of the masculine on Father's Day. And we honor that, right? The best fathers are the ones that are able to be that shoulder that their daughters can cry on or that their sons can scream to about their frustrations, right? And being able to do both and holding that space. We honor that, and we honor all of you fathers out there who are doing your job to be conscious fathers, mindful fathers, loving fathers, and fathers that are well-rounded and balanced in both your masculine and your feminine. We honor that, and we're grateful for you all. So reach out to the fathers in your life that are like that, or the father figures, and honor the ways in which your own inner father, right? Your own divine masculine can help heal your inner child wounds and also can balance with your divine feminine energies, because that is really the purpose of these kind of holidays on an energetic and spiritual level. Okay. Of course, we're here to celebrate fathers, and that's, more of the surface kind of straightforward reasoning, but there's also the energetics behind it. And that's what is so important. Now, also with the summer solstice being today and Father's Day, I think that's powerful as well, because summer solstice is an energy of shifting season into more of the sun, the solar energy. The solar energy is more masculine and the lunar energy is more feminine. So as we transition into more of the solar energy, the longest day of the year where the sun is shining the most hours, the longest hours in a day, we're also honoring the beauty of the masculine in regards to the solar energy. Solar energy, like I said, is masculine, but it also represents bringing things to light. It also represents action and embodiment instead of just communication and ideation, okay? So we're in a beautiful energy of honoring that solar light and the way in which we can act and embody all of the things that we're pursuing right now. And it's just such a beautiful, kind of coherence in the spiritual form of that, right? I really love the way in which that plays together, the summer solstice and Father's Day. So bringing light to action, bringing light to the masculine energy, bringing light to the balance necessary for the most divine masculine energy to be expressed. And another thing that is coming up for Father's Day from our guides is the energy of friendship. The energy of friendship, finding friendship and love with our fathers, and the energy of the masculine, recognizing how your relationship with the masculine energy or with your father is, and starting to do a little deep digging into how you can cultivate more of a friendliness around that energy if it's not there, and also acknowledging how friendship has catered to your masculine energy. And maybe if there's any wounds around friendships and maybe masculine energy friendships with males styles, or friendships where your energy is more masculine, or you're dealing with more masculine energy, because there may be some other things around that for you personally that you can dive into and kind of center in on for healing or for more balance in your own being. Okay. But honoring the friendship of the masculine, and really just honoring the fact that, you know, our fathers can be our friends as well. You know, our soul companions in a lot of ways, people, you know, our support and our security as well. All right, let's get into some astrology. Thank you, Jasmine, for the super chat donation. She says, this message is amazing, Rissa. Thank you so much for the confirmation of the energy I'm in. I'm so happy to help. So happy that I'm helping y'all. Oh, thank you, Marie, for the super chat donation as well. Y'all are just like showering me with love. I appreciate it so much. All right, so let's go into the astrology, okay? Real quick reflection. Women supporting women in regards to following your dreams, self-discipline in regards to don't take love for granted, perseverance and inner child healing, surrendering fully and not trusting any tricks around the way in which you surrender, but really surrendering even deeper than what you may have been tricking yourself to believe. Inspired passion in regards to gratitude and gratitude for God and source, the strength to use your mindfulness tool belt and the ability to understand that strength fully, and friendship for Father's Day. All right, let's go into astrology to cover things there and sum everything up. So Cancer season starts today. That's the first thing I want to mention astrologically. We are in a brand new season. So bye Gemini season, my favorite season of the year, but it's okay because I'm still feeling like it's my birthday because I just be holding on to that vibe as long as I can, y'all. But yes, we are in Cancer season. The Cancer season energy is very, very, very watery. It's emotional, it's intuitive, it's connected to flow, it's really surrendered to flow oftentimes. And the Cancer energy also has the downsides. I was like, talk a little bit about the downsides. The downsides of Cancer energy tends to be oversensitivity and also sometimes over ego, okay, or over expression of ego, kind of this over charming energy, sometimes kind of causing illusion or delusion in things or manipulation in some things, okay? So we are in the Cancer season. We're super excited for that. So shout out to all those Cancers out there. Cancers are also really great for creativity and for being able to be leaders in creativity as well and kind of shine in that realm, which is beautiful. And so I want to pull a little card on Cancer season. Actually, I'm getting a ping from Goddess Isis deck. And I also want to, of course, like I just mentioned, the summer solstice today as well. And so we are going to honor both of those energies by pulling a card for both, since we just talked about the solar energy there. The Eye of Horus card is showing up for Cancer season and for this first day or this longest day of summer. And it says, the Eye of Horus brings divine perception, protection, and insight. You are gifted with certain spiritual abilities, including divine sight, that are awakening and growing now. You have much divine support and protection so that you may grow your abilities and serve others with your divine gifts. Trust your perception and know that you are divinely protected. All right. So for Cancer season, for this whole month that we're entering and for this peak of summer, we want to honor our perception and our divine insight. We want to let go of any illusions or delusions around our true perception, our true intuitive perception. And we want to allow ourselves to feel protected and supported in our intuitive divine gifts and the ways in which we are ready to share them with the world. Okay. So this can be a beautiful thing that we can start to embody, right? The solar energy of the summer solstice, really embodying action around stepping into acting based on our perception, our divine insight, acting on our intuition, acting on our intuitive gifts and divine gifts, and using them through our actions and behaviors. And also, with the Cancer energy, going with that flow of intuition, going with the flow of our ability to feel our emotions and our empathic abilities showing up even deeper this month. And that's going to really help our divine insight, our intuitive insight to increase and expand and amplify. So beautiful. All right, next astrological event is Jupiter retrograde in Pisces today. I talked a little bit about this last week, so just to touch on it again, we are feeling that kind of retraction of Jupiter in the solar expansion or the solar orbit, and so, or the planetary orbit, sorry. So with that being said, we may feel a little bit of hindrance to our abundance, or we may feel a little bit nervous about our abundance, but because of certain changes that are occurring or unexpected change that may happen, we might have some changes that drain our bank account a little bit, but don't worry. The way we respond to those changes is what's going to determine our prosperity and our abundance as a result. So the more you can respond with intuition, with patience, with acceptance, with surrender, and with trusting that you're going to be okay and taken care of and that you're protected, the more abundance you're going to receive at the end of this Jupiter retrograde in a few months, okay? So honor the ways in which changes may affect your abundance mentality and do your best to maintain your abundance mentality against all odds so that you can really reap the benefits of those tests at the end of the retrograde, okay? Mercury goes direct on Tuesday, so we're going to have a lot of clarity in our communication. Any tech issues that we've been having are hopefully going to subside as well on Tuesday. We're going to feel more clear and connected in our communication and more able to understand others' communication. So that's going to be really great. So that's going direct in Gemini as well. So that's going to be awesome. It'll also help uncloud any of our confusion around our intuition as well. Then we have a full moon in Capricorn on Thursday, a earth sign full moon. This is going to be an energy that will ground us, especially from that new moon in Gemini last couple of weeks that we were kind of airy and spacey. The Capricorn full moon is going to bring us back down to earth and show us what we need to see to embody the changes that we need to make so that we can keep going and maintaining all of the amazing creative ideas we had during the Gemini season. And we're going to start to feel a lot more connection to our need and desire to tie up loose ends and to complete certain projects or to finish out the things that we had planned for this season so that we don't have continued lingering energy or anything procrastinated that we need to complete. So I'll dive more into the full moon in Capricorn on Thursday night. I believe it'll be Thursday night on my Instagram where I'll go live with my love, Chad, and we'll be talking about the full moon together, and he'll actually be here, so we'll be able to join. He'll probably be like here, I don't know, but we'll be able to join and connect on Instagram on Thursday for more Capricorn full moon vibes. But remember, the full moon energy is always about release as well. So it's going to be important to release, like I said, release projects that are not finished and that need to be completed. So complete them so you can release them. Release loose ends or excess energy that isn't serving you. Release anything that is kind of not aligned to your goals that you've grounded in and set intentions for deliberately, or anything that you're disciplining yourself on. Release the excess stuff that is in the way of those self-disciplines that are needed, and you're going to have a successful full moon in Cap. Okay. Remember also, Capricorn energy is all about making us better. So any challenges or any kind of tough love experiences that we have from this Capricorn full moon will be for the purpose of making us better. So don't take things too personally, because that'll be easy to do with us being in Cancer season now. So do your best to not take things personally, but instead look at things from a more, grounded perspective so that you can reap the benefits of everything. Let me pull a quick card about the full moon in Cap. And then the last thing I want to mention, and I'll pull a card for this too. We'll have this card kind of be a nice summary of both. The Neptune energy. Neptune goes retrograde on Friday, the day after the full moon in Capricorn. So we're getting rid of Mercury retrograde, but we're replacing it with Jupiter retrograde and Neptune retrograde. And we already have Pluto and Saturn retrograde happening. So it's intense, y'all. It's intense. The intensity of the retrogrades is not going to let up. And Neptune retrograde is all about bringing us some harsh realities, y'all. Because Neptune is the energy of kind of fantasy and intuition and illusion, and it's an energy of kind of dreaminess. So when Neptune retrogrades and kind of pulls back, all those dreams and fantasies fade away, and we start to see the real, like the real stuff. But that's necessary, because if we don't see the real stuff, and understand the reality of things, we will miss out on certain things that can actually help us emerge. That's the card that will help us emerge into who we're meant to be and into all that we're meant to receive and experience. So trust that even the things that you see that are harshly real and things that maybe you don't want to pay attention to or face, trust that by facing them and being honest about what you're seeing, it will help you to emerge into what you're meant to be and what you're meant to do and experience. Okay. And look at yourself for the answers on that. Go within, because a lot of that emerging is going to come from your own self-reflection. All right. So beautiful, everyone. How are you all feeling? That's the astrology of the week. I love this. Marie says, God and the universe have been really speaking to me over the last couple of weeks. I truly recognize the messages of encouragement I'm receiving. Your messages totally align with those messages. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Marie. I'm so glad to hear that. Good to see you all. Natalie says, oh my God, I've been really feeling the need to do the work, use my mindfulness tool belt, meditation, breath work, walk in nature. I needed a little nudge and accountability. Yes, let's be accountable for each other. That's why we're here in this Web of Light community. That's why I show up every single week for all of you, so that you can stay accountable. And so it's so important to stay accountable. If these weekly readings are a part of your mindfulness tool belt as well, make sure you keep plugging in. Pay attention to if you're starting to feel off because you haven't plugged into a weekly reading in a few weeks. It doesn't mean that you need the weekly readings in order to be centered, but it does mean that the weekly readings have become your permission slip and reminder to center yourself regularly, right? And so making sure that you're doing that work and you're taking that time to honor what keeps you doing that work. All right. I want to do a little bell to close out. Taking some deep breaths to release any tension or blockages in your body. Aligning to all the love and gratitude vibrations that can keep us inspired, strong, and true. Beautiful. Oh, a little extra. All right, my loves, it was so good to connect with you all. Thank you so much for vibing with me. If you want a shorter, more concise version of this reading for your watching, viewing pleasure later on this week, I will be posting a mini reading Monday sometime tomorrow on my OnlyFans page. And that's also where you can send me extra tips or promote any of my other content to support all that I do. So thank you so much for doing that as well. The OnlyFans description and link the OnlyFans link is in the description of this video, so you can check it out. And I also have my brand new Hippie Vixen music video all out on OnlyFans as well. It is on a live stream that I did a couple of weeks ago. Super, super exciting. So you can go on there and watch it exclusively before it hits the public scene in a week or so. So yeah, that's always nice too, because those are all ways that you can contribute a little extra to this content and to my messages. And thank you all for the contributions and super chat love. I appreciate it. And I will see you next week for a brand new weekly reading. I will be right here again next week because I will still be in AZ. So that'll really be fun as well. And maybe I'll have my love Chad join me for that as well. We'll see what happens. All right, loves, have a great one, and keep checking my Instagram for notifications on when I'm going live about the moon. I'm also going to start doing live Q&As again on Instagram. So that'll be really fun as well. So bringing some stuff back on Instagram, also keeping OnlyFans alive and keeping these weekly readings alive as well on YouTube. Because why? I'm a multidimensional Gemini. I like all the platforms. I don't want to give up just one. I want to have them all. So that's what I do. So thank you for supporting me on all those platforms. Thanks for listening to Hippie Vixen on all streaming music platforms. Please keep listening to it. I'm getting tons of numbers that I didn't get from Spirit Junkie that I'm getting with this album. So thank you for that. Keep plugging into Spirit Junkie as well. And yeah, let me know what city you want me to perform in. I think I'm gonna be coming to your town or a town near you soon. So let me know where you want to see me perform my music. And I love you so much. I'll talk to you soon, and I'll see you next week. Peace.